Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. Before I get the ball rolling on this video, I just want to say that it is incredibly hot today, and for that reason I do have my door open in my room, so if you hear any noises or anything unexpected, shouldn't be too scary, but if you do, just know that's the reason. So today I am going to be reviewing Skulduggery Pleasant, Playing with Fire, which is book 2 in the Skulduggery series by Landy. I did a whole video on the first one, which is just called Skulduggery Pleasant, which I've done a whole video for, as I said, and it will be up here and the link will be down below in case you want to check it out. But this book picks up right from where book 1 left off. It sees Valkyrie, or Stephanie, sometimes she's called Stephanie, sometimes she's called Valkyrie, training up to be a wizard, sorceress, detective person with Skulduggery Pleasant, who, if you wasn't sure who I mean, he is a living dead skeleton who is a detective slash wizard. And they are partners together, they are working together, and he's kind of training her up and showing her the ropes basically, and showing her all these magic that she can use and going on in all these cases with her. She's a lot more confident in this book, and she even has a power which even Skulduggery hasn't shown so far, and that is the power to levitate herself. She can levitate herself up and down, and she does this numerous times as well. And the concept of her reflection being a character, now if you aren't sure about what I mean, in the first one, Skulduggery had to come up with an idea that because Stephanie was going to be away on cases and wasn't going to be at home or at school all the time, they had to come up with an idea to remedy that. And what they thought about is giving her the ability to stand in front of a mirror and create her reflection. So her reflection literally comes out of the mirror or any reflective surface and is an exact copy of Valkyrie. Now, if she's wearing any logos, because it's a reflection, they will be reversed on the reflection of Valkyrie. So her reflection is a big part of this book, and it goes to school, it interacts with people that Valkyrie or Stephanie likes, and in some cases dislike her as well. And of course it interacts with her parents, and the parents know that something is wrong when they're around this version of Stephanie, but they think that it's just mood swings, I suppose. And this Valkyrie, this reflection of her, is a living, breathing creature. She is alive. She has emotions, even though they're exactly the same as the real Valkyries. She is her own person. And Valkyrie refers to her as it. She doesn't see it and regard the reflection as a human being or a person. And it would be really interesting to know and follow if this reflection ever becomes evil. Skulduggery is the same wisecracking detective that is still protective over Valkyrie. Their bond has become stronger, and Tenaflo is a bigger part of this book than she was in the first book. In the first book, I wasn't sure about what to make of her. I wasn't sure whether to trust her or not. But in this book, she is a massive part of this book as well. She goes on battles with Skulduggery and Valkyrie, and even though she does hang around with some shifty and suspicious characters, I do believe that she is on the side of good, that she is a fierce warrior, but she kind of like treads that path between the good side and the bad side, if that made any sense. So in this book, we are introduced to the new bad, or the new villain of this story rather, called the Baron. Now the Baron was a follower of the original big bad of this world, and at that time his job was to resurrect the dark gods that used to rule over the earth, called the Faceless Ones. And when they are brought back, chaos and destruction will reign, and they will rule over humanity with an iron fist. Basically, it sounds like a good time. But since then he's been put into a prison where he is miraculously escaped from. And since his escape, his job is to pick up from where he left off and to resurrect the faceless ones. And in order to do this, he has to acquire certain artifacts in order to do that. So throughout this book, it's just a massive collectathon. You know, go here, get this, go to this location and retrieve this item. And Skulduggery and Valkyrie are always on the trail of the Baron, but they always seem to be one step behind. The Baron always seems to have the upper hand and always seems to be winning. And there is this massive creature that is all wrapped in bandages. You see him on the back of the book. This is pretty much a half god. I can't remember the character's name, but this is a half god which is kind of like the bodyguard to the Baron. He's the muscle, and he's there primarily to stop anything bad from happening and stopping his plans. This character is ridiculously powerful and strong and cannot be taken down by one or a couple of individuals, as he has proven that he can crush someone's skull like a grape with one hand with no effort whatsoever. So like the first book, it is similar in tone. What Valkyrie and Skulduggery have to do, they have to defeat the bad guy and save the world. But this one, the Baron is a lot more cunning and powerful, and his plans always seem to come true. And what he sets out to do, he always achieves that. And while you're reading this, while you're getting to the end, you're thinking, what's going to happen at the end? Are the faceless ones going to come back? What's going to happen? I know that the third book is actually called The Faceless Ones, so I was thinking, right, if they're not going to come back in this book, they're definitely going to come back in book 3 because the book is named after them. But obviously I won't tell you what happens. This book is extremely action-packed. There isn't many scenes where it slows down for character development. As I suppose that in book 1, it had all these characters and this whole world established. So in book 2, Derek didn't have to linger on that. When you go into this book, you know these characters, you know the world, you know how everything works. So there's no need to dilly-dally on that. So it's just straight into the action, 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 action all the time. Yes, it does have some slow parts, but I would like to have more of them to explore these characters and have more room for character growth. Yes, I know that this is a YA book, and I suppose young people have a short attention span, but I would like these books to have more character development, and maybe they will. This book was extremely easy and simple for me to read. I read this entire thing in 5 days. And like book 1, these are extremely fun. It's not complex to understand. Yes, adults and teenagers can enjoy this equally. And these are what I call palate cleansers. These aren't like super in-depth fantasy books like, I don't know, like the Shadow of the Gods or Brandon Sanderson or Lord of the Rings. Not saying that this book is beneath that, but it is something that you can read really, really quickly, you can enjoy, and they are just fun. If I had to describe this book in one word, I would just say that it's simply that. It is fun. So yeah, that's all I really had to say. I don't really have anything else to add. I cannot wait to read book 3, which I will be reading in September, and I cannot wait to see where the story goes and how these characters evolve and what new characters are introduced and what villain they have to overcome. But yeah, let me know if you've read these books. Let me know if I've maybe intrigued you to pick them up. If you haven't watched my video on the first book, I will, as I said, I will have it linked down below in case you want to check it out. And yeah, with all that out of the way, all said and done, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.